Hey guys, Elainey here, and welcome back to another episode of CyclopeanCraft. At the moment, we're just in the little mountain hallway, and I came by to check out LZ's gambling shop. Well, it's not really a shop, but yeah, so you can gamble. And it's 1 diamond, and you have a chance to win one of the jackpots, two of which have already been claimed. Will we be able to get the third one, or will we not? I have 6 diamonds. I am going to hop into a little time lapse while I do that, and let's see if we win anything. So as you can see from that little time lapse clip there, I did not win anything at all. Not even the poop jackpot, which was all that was left, unfortunately. Which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully LZ will restock the prizes and we can maybe have a little go again later. So I'm just going to run about quickly and check the shops. I've already checked the netherite shop downstairs. Just going to check the iron one. There is nothing. Oh, I do love that view, don't you? I do think that view is amazing. Unfortunately, no diamonds for us today, which is unfortunate, but you can't make sales. I'm just going to quickly run back to base because I need to get some supplies and also a couple shulkers, and then I will be back with you in just a few moments. So we are now in PK and Poison's general shop. So I need to get a bunch of glass because around the island there is going to be a perimeter. So that way people know not to go too far out. Because I want people to be able to go into like the water a little bit. Because there might even be some things in the water that could maybe help. But obviously I don't want people to go too far out. And if you go past the glass border, then you are disqualified, and that goes for the player and the hunter. Not all the rules are decided yet. I've still got to come up with quite a few, but that's something to look forward to. This isn't going to be anywhere near enough glass, but it will have to do for just now. And then we're going to start laying out the sort of rough guideline for where the island is going to be. So I do believe I've said before, but it's going to be just off of where the arena is. And I'm going to lay it out. And then I'm not going to do a time lapse or anything like that. I'm just going to do a couple of clips and then I'll show you it when I'm done. So there's actually been a slight change of plans. So originally I was just going to build an island from scratch. However, LZ let me know of an island in between spawn and the shopping district, which is not too far away from either, which is great. And we are actually here right now, and it's nighttime, so do have to be careful. But this island is perfect. It is actually brilliant. With it not being too far away from the shopping district, it will just be brilliant, and it just means I'm going to save so much time not having to build the island from scratch, and I can just focus on terraforming, and it's just going to make this whole bit a lot quicker, which is fantastic. I already have loads of ideas for things I can do with it. Just having a little run around at the moment. So there will be trees on the island, but the trees that are currently here right now are going to be gone. I'm going to get rid of them. Especially the really tall oak trees. I do not like them at all. They're not all going to be custom trees, but I definitely want some custom trees and bigger trees. And there are going to be caves. There's also going to be a couple of ruins. And I'm not going to go into too much detail just now because not everything has been decided. But I have very big plans for this. Hey guys, editing Elainey coming at you. So unfortunately, you won't see my perspective of LC Geek Space Review. If you want to see it, go see Gwent's. My audio files had messed up for the recording, and even though Gwent did send me his files, it wouldn't let me download them, so I couldn't use them. And after faffing about for longer than I'd care to admit, I just had to give up, which is really unfortunate because it was so much fun to record and I was really looking forward to putting it in. But definitely go watch Gwent's video, it's in his video, enjoy, and let's get on to Modest's Nether shop review. That was a lovely time we had reviewing LZ Geek's base, and now we're on to the next shop to review, which is Modest's Nether shop, which is here in the shopping district just over from the portal. I must say this area is really starting to come up nicely.
Yes, really fabulous, Elainey.
It is, and I do quite like what he has done with the outside of his shop.
I would say it looks very good. I like that he has doors, which is a considerable step up from our last engagement.
That is very true. There were no doors to be seen anywhere.
Correct. However, I am noticing that the leaves have stopped before we've hit the pathway here, which is very unfortunate. I feel like this is going to be points deducted. My dearest Elainey, let's start here right at the very beginning. I can already tell you that, unfortunately, Mr. Modest Crayon's path is not quite up to par. And unfortunately, he is missing a rather vital ingredient here, and that is some stairs.
You are quite right, Gwent. As a lady, I should not be having to clamber up a hill just to visit a shop.
I concur. And would you look at this only bush right here that we need to walk over just to get into the entrance?
Oh, yes, he definitely needs to do some upkeep on his lawn. This is quite terrible.
Indeed, I would say it's unsightly at this level. Um, Having said that, there are some very good points to mention while we're here. First of all, being the actual design of the shop. I think it looks beautiful.
Yes, so I do believe it is a nether shop, and I must say, from the outside, the design is quite lovely. I like how he has incorporated the new textures we have from the wood and the crimson stem.
Yes, I would concur with that sentiment exactly. The shroom lights behind the trapdoors look very good, and yeah, I don't. I mean, the other thing I would mention about these shroom lights is if we have shroom lights, why do we need the torches?
That is a very good point. There seems to be a bit of an overload here. You don't need the shroom lights, the torches, and the lanterns.
The other thing that we would like to point out, I think we both mentioned it on walking up to the shop, was the blend between the grass and the shop.
Yes, it's not bad, but it could be better.
Definitely so. Points for effort is what I would say. However, from my point of view, I feel that uh, there's a lot of netherrack interacting with the grass, but not too much grass interacting with the netherrack, if that makes any sense.
It
But
m-
maybe one to keep for the feedback at the end, I suppose.
oh, definitely. I have to say, I just noticed this landing strip right here, and it seems rather lazy.
Well, yes, it's definitely not a Brazilian, is it?
I did notice here that this landing strip does look a bit lazy, for lack of a better word. He has marked it out with torches, but surely something like that is what you do when you're just marking out where it's going to be, not when it's finished.
Yes, I would say so. Unfortunately, Mr. Modest Crayon has neglected the art of subtlety. Now, Elaine, my dear, do you think it's time for us to head inside?
Yes, I do indeed. Let's go have a look at what awaits us.
After you.
So
Right.
I must say the overall look is quite is not bad, not bad at all. The He's still got that nether vibe going on in here. I do appreciate that. However, I must say it could be better.
I would say there are several points that I really love about this space. First point is the trapdoor windows look absolutely stunning, and it's a really great idea. Good job, Mr. Modest Crayon.
Yes, you are quite right there. It just wouldn't look quite the same if it was glass.
Correct. And a negative about this, I would say, is the chests. I feel he could have incorporated them a little bit better, or could have done something a little bit different here rather than just placing a bunch of chests in a circle. But,
Yes.
these things are. At some point, he does need some sort of storage in here. So if chests are what he wants to go with, then we must, suppose, go along with it.
The only thing is I can't seem to access some of these chests.
Well, that was. I was about to come to that point,
Oh,
unfortunately.
there we go.
Uh, he's going to lose some points here for technical slash functionality, because if we stand under one of these crimson vines, the chests become inaccessible to us, which is really rather dreadful. And talking about these red vines, I'm a big fan of these. I think they look like some sort of nether chandelier, which is, if you want to put me in a room with a chandelier, I will happily oblige. But this is, well, I don't want to hit my head on a chandelier.
No, it is. Yes, chandeliers are supposed to be quite high up. They're not meant for head bumping. But it does appear that
Correct.
this is supposed to be a bit of a ladder. So shall we see what is up here? Oh, oh. So on further inspection of this area, it seems like this might be a staff area, just meant there for dropping stuff off. Um, I don't know about you, Gwent, but I would have thought you would not want a staff area so easily accessible.
I would agree with you there. I don't feel any need for this staff area. All he has are some bogus chests that he could have just moved back to his base if he hadn't been so lazy. So this really is unfortunate, because I feel that in my appraisal of this build, I'm probably going to come down quite heavily on this. And one more thing, Elaine, I want to address the elephant in the room, which is these torches right here. If you'd
Yes.
like to take in the light levels right now, and just wait for me to get all of these torches down. And you tell me, Elaine, can you see any difference with the light levels in the room?
There is no difference, and if anything, actually, it looks better because there is less clutter on the walls.
Well, Elaine, we have hit the nail on the head. That is exactly my point. Why on earth would you spam torches around your build? If you could please place the last one there, my dearest Elaine, when they're just not needed. Again, more things for feedback, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not overly impressed, and the overwhelming feeling is claustrophobia.
I feel like his shop has a lot of potential, it just hasn't been fulfilled yet.
Correct, correct. Do you think now would be a good time to maybe come up with a score for Mr. Modest Crayon and give him some feedback?
Yes, let's go outside, shall we? And we will leave him his cakes, and then we will start on the feedback for him. So we have finished deciding the scores for Modest's Nether shop, which we will reveal to you in a moment. Overall, I think the scores are an accurate reflection. Do you agree, Gwent?
I would I would agree, Elaine. I think that Master Modest has made a good effort in some areas and unfortunately fallen short in others.
Yes, however,
Yes.
after we tell the viewers of the scores we gave him, we will then go into the feedback portion and let him know what we think he could do to improve.
Yes, let's get into it then.
So let's start with design. So Cakes divide up into 6. So for design, we gave him 4 out of 6. Because on the outside, the design is really quite lovely. However, we did have a few issues on the inside, so he did have to get marked down for that, unfortunately. And moving swiftly on to the scenery, we did both really like the scenery. We were both very happy with it, and with the exception of the slight issue with the blending, we thought that deserved a resounding 5 out of 6.
Yeah, I think that was a very fair score, actually. It's he's done a really good job, and you can tell that he's paid very close attention to the scenery, and that was obviously a big focus for him, and deservedly so. He has walked away with 5 out of 6 for his scenery score. However, unfortunately, now on to the ugly, and the ugly of this build is not the appearance, but the functionality, unfortunately, and things like having vines in the way of chests so that they can't open, torches that you just don't need. For example, these ones right here. Also, these lanterns, because they're shroom lights right up there, has led to an overall score of 2 out of 6. And, well, there's not really much more I can say about that. Just read the feedback that we leave you, I suppose.
Yes, so we will get on with the feedback in just a minute, because the server's going to restart.
Yes, Elainey, the server is going to restart. Approximately 3, 2, 1.
So we have finished writing our feedback down in our little books. However, just a little note for you before we get started on the feedback is I will be giving some of the feedback on my video, and Gwent will be giving the other part of the feedback on his video. So make sure you watch both of them to get the full feedback. So I shall be doing the design feedback. So the first bit was about the landing strip. So we thought if he moved the landing strip so it was in between his base and Astro's shop here, so maybe just going up here. And also, please do something a little bit better than just grass surrounded by torches. You have quite a nice build here, Modest. We know you can do better. As for... Sorry, did you want to say something, Gwent?
Well, I was just going to agree with you, Elainey. I feel that Modest is such a good builder. Go big or go home is how I feel about this.
Yes, I do absolutely agree. So the next point we wanted to raise was we think you should get rid of your second floor. It doesn't need to be there. If you really want to have a staff area, I would suggest maybe doing a little basement and just hiding a little ladder in the corner. You do not want a staff room to be so easily accessible. Also, change the chests to barrels and have it so, give me one moment, I will go inside. So, say for example, if you put barrels lining this wall, not the entire wall, just the bottom part, and then maybe on the opposite side, if you maybe have a little desk for your customers to pay at, that would be quite a nice little touch. And the last final point was you do not need all these lanterns for decorations. Just one in each corner would suffice. So yes, do get rid of any extra lighting. It is not needed. We are in a mushroom biome. The mobs aren't going to spawn.
Yes, Elaine, I'd agree. Even if you just put some shroom lighting at the top here and got rid of this second layer, I actually feel that would be enough to brighten this entire space. So you may be able to get away with no torches in here or lanterns and just use these shroom lights that you have at the top. And that may be enough to light up the entire build.
Yes, because as you demonstrated when we were up the top earlier, Gwent, it certainly made no difference to the light level up there by not having the torches in.
Correct.
But anyway, shall we move on to your segments now, Gwent?
Of course. All right, Elainey. We did like the build. We just think it could be improved upon in a few minor areas. It would probably take about 30 minutes, I think, to get all of those things actioned.
Yes, I
Um,
don't think it would take long at all. However, Modest, if you like, for 1 or 2 diamonds each, we can fix it for you.
oh, I've no problem at all. I mean, these monocles, they don't buy themselves, you know. So yes, I
Exactly.
would be more than happy to give you a hand for a small fee.
Just let us know, dear Modest, and until next time, ta
Cheerio, old sport.